Hi guys, welcome back to the Patti Martin Real Estate Group YouTube channel. My name's Adam Wachtel and today we're talking about the December 2022 market update as well as a year in review to see how this year stacks up to previous years and if 2022 was really an outlier year. But make sure you stick around because we're going to give you the best tips on how to buy and sell the smartest way possible in the upcoming market for 2023. As many of you know, the Vancouver real estate market has consistently been one of the busiest markets in the country. Now, this is largely due to the fact that we have low interest rates, low inventory, high buyer demand, and this has created an intense competition amongst buyers, often creating price increases. But has this changed over the past 6 months? Let's explore this further. Well, first and foremost, it's important to note that the winter months are typically slower time of the year for buyers and sellers in any real estate market. And so December is no different. When we're going to compare December and November and even previous years, we're going to talk about what this actually means for the market going forward. Now, as you review these numbers and review the increases or decreases in inventory and sales, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market is going to crash or come to a complete standstill. In December 2022, there was 1,300 homes sold in the month. This is a 52% drop since December 2021 and a 20% drop since November 2022. So it is without a doubt that we can see that buyers were less active this month and definitely less active than the previous year. Now, the interesting thing to note here is that in December 2022, there was just over 1,200 homes that are newly listed on the MLS that month. Compared to December 2021, this is a 38% decrease, and compared to last month, November, this is a 60.5% decrease. So it's easy to see that sellers are much more hesitant to list their homes on the market and are taking a step back, sitting on the sidelines, waiting to see what's happening. Now, I'd like to take a moment and look at 2022 as a whole and compare this to the previous years and what this actually means in terms of listings and sales, but what it also means going forward for you as a buyer or seller. Over the past 6 months, there was definitely a hesitancy on both buyers and sellers, and this is easily noticeable looking at the decline in inventory and the decline in sales over the last half of the year. After seeing record sales and prices during the pandemic, Metro Vancouver really saw a year of hesitancy on both buyers and sellers, largely due to the rising interest rates and inflation numbers by the Bank of Canada. Now, if we review the year as a whole, what you're going to see is actually a slower year than previous years with more inventory. So inventory is actually on the rise, but let's review these numbers closely. Looking at the year as a whole, residential home sales in Metro Vancouver are down 34% since 2021, with nearly 29,000 total sales in 2022 compared to 44,000 sales in 2021. And this is down 6.6% from 2020 when there was nearly 31,000 sales. So looking at all these years, 2020 to 2022, we can really see that year 2021 is the outlier that was extremely busy and active for buyers. When looking at 2022 to 2020, there's only a 6.6% decrease in the total number of sales. So 2021 can really be considered an outlier. And 2022 should be considered a return to normal going back to 2020 levels of activity. It'll be interesting to see what this means going forward for buyers in 2023 when we're starting the year off with higher interest costs. When we're looking at the total number of inventory from 2020 all the way to 2022, we have a very similar story. There were nearly 54,000 homes listed for sale in 2022. This is a 13.5% decrease from 2021 and a 0.8% decrease from 2020. So throughout these past 2 years, the same type of scenario is happening on the selling side and getting homes listed on the market. What we're seeing is that 2021 is really an outlier year that was extremely busy. It was a really good time for sellers to list their home, get it top dollar, get their home sold, and then move on. What we're seeing is that in 2020 and then in 2022, it's more of a return to normal. Now, this is where it gets interesting for the total number of inventory listed on the MLS today compared to the past 2 years. The total number of homes listed in Metro Vancouver today is 7,400. Now get this, that's a 41% increase since December 2021 and a 20% decrease since November 2022. So technically, we have more inventory today than we did in December 2021. We're starting the year off with more listings, but fewer buyers. So what does this mean for you as a buyer and seller going forward into 2023? So let's explore the best strategies possible for you and your situation going forward. So for sellers, now is actually the better time to get your home on the market. There is still low inventory in comparison, and we are back to the 2021 levels. The longer you wait to get your home on the market, you may find yourself in a situation where you're competing against more homes for sale. This might make it harder for you to negotiate the best terms possible for yourself and making it harder to sell your home in general. For buyers, the good news is that you're starting the year off with more inventory. This gives you more home options, it gives you a better chance to negotiate, and it gives you an opportunity to get a more favorable price. Keep in mind that in 2021 and 2022, you were rushed into buying a home largely because of a super low interest rate and high buyer demand. In 2023, while interest rates are currently high, they are expected to decrease later in the year. So for a buyer, take your time, find the home that's right for you that you can see yourself growing into, negotiate better terms, get the best price that you possibly can, and get into that house that you can grow into. And then at a later date, renegotiate your mortgage terms and get that interest rate down so that you can be comfortable in that home. Overall, while the December real estate market was slower than the rest of the year, now is a good time to be aware of what's going on in the market and look out for those opportunities that could pop up later in the year. So there you have it, guys, my analysis of the 2022 December market update, as well as a year in review, how it compares to other years and where we're starting off today compared to years in the past. And I really don't think Vancouver real estate market is in a bad position going forward. I'm really optimistic about the market, and I'm excited to see how everything plays out in 2023. If you want to get in touch with me and talk about your unique situation, whether you're buying or selling in 2023, click the link in the description below, reach out, let's get in touch and get you set up for the most success in 2023.